Hey guys, it's TikTok with another Studio One quick tip. Today we're going to talk about using Studio One 4's chord track feature to get perfectly tuned 808 kick drums in your song. Now this is going to allow you to tune your 808s to your song without having to know the key of the song or the chord structure of the song. It doesn't involve any type of music theory as well, although using this tip may actually help you learn a little music theory. So to use this, of course, you need Studio One version 4 because it has its new chord track feature, which allows you to map out the progression of chords in a song throughout your entire track. It also allows you to tell any particular track, whether it's a MIDI track or an audio track, to follow those chords as well. So great for just dragging in loops that aren't necessarily in the same chord structure or key of the song, and it'll automatically change those for you. So let's see how this works in Studio One 4 with this song I have up now. So this is a song I'm working on now. So we got this guitar part here, all right, and if I don't know there's the beat. If I don't know the chords of this song, Studio One has a neat feature that'll allow you to just simply select any audio track, and then I can go into the audio menu and do detect chords. And it's going to analyze that audio for me, and then it's going to overlay the actual chord structure. So if I zoom in a little closer here, you see we have a C sharp minor here, B flat minor, I'm sorry, it's C sharp major 7, B flat minor, and A flat. And you don't necessarily have to know what those things are. Studio One does it for you. It knows what it is. All you have to worry about is opening the chord track and then dragging this event up to the chord track, and now it lays those chords in there. All right. And it does that for every event on that track as well, because it's all the same. Now, if it were different, of course, it would give me different chords, but it's all the same. So because the progression doesn't change throughout the whole song, I'm going to simply just copy and paste this across the board all the way to the end of the song. All right. And so now we have a basis for Studio One to dictate or tell other tracks what chord progression they need to follow. So let's go to bar 17 here, and here is where I want to place my 808. So I have a track here called Pitch 808 Dirty. This is where I have my sample 1, and here is my 808, and it's basically mapped across the keyboard, so it's tuned already. So C is C on the keyboard, and so on and so forth. So now all I have to do is just punch in some notes. And to begin that process, I'm going to just create a pattern part here and span it out there. And then we're going to go into the pattern editor. So here's the pattern editor. Now the cool thing about this trick is that I don't know what the chords or I know what the chords are now, but I don't know the key of this song necessarily. Or do I have to, right? So I can pick any note. So maybe it's going to be this B. I'm going to choose B here. Actually, that says B flat. But I'm going to choose the B here. And I'm just going to, let me expand my steps to 32. And let's play it. All right, I'm punching some steps. It's not what I want. All right, so this is what I want. Not quite. Let's get it right. There we go. All right, great. So that's one pattern event, and you see it's spanning the C sharp major 7 chord. It's going to change, so I need to duplicate this guy. So now I have two pattern parts that are duplicated. All right. Doesn't matter which one I select here. It's gonna show me the steps here in the pattern editor. And now I'm going to select both of them and hit G. which is going to basically turn that into a MIDI event for me. All right, and for some reason my chord track was already turned on. By default it's turned off, so I'm gonna turn it off, and you can see all of these notes go back to B, which is here. Let's hear it. All right, I mean, that sounds fine for most people. That may work, but for me, I'm a little particular. I want these notes to actually follow the chord structure. So we're going to go back to the inspector for this particular track, and then in the follow chords feature, which is previously on and I turned it off, I'm going to select bass. This means that now it's going to change these notes to the bass note of each of these chords. So that's basically the name of the chord. So for C sharp major 7, the bass note would be C sharp. For B flat minor, the bass note would be B flat, and for A flat, it's A flat, right? So once we hit bass here, you'll see that in the MIDI editor here, it changes the notes. So once where it was B straight across the board, we now have C sharp, which is here. We have our B flat, which is here, our A sharp, and then we have an A flat, also known as G sharp. All right, so let's listen to this now. All right, so it changed the notes for me, and they're basically following the chord structure of the song. So now I can just copy and paste this guy across the board. That should be enough. Cool thing about this is if the chords do change, so for instance, for this particular event, all right, maybe I want to have a different chord here. Maybe I want a D chord, so it changes those notes to D for me. And so in this way you can, just figure out different things, be creative. This also works for if you sample some audio into Studio One. You can analyze it. It'll take that that data and tell you what the chords are, and then you can apply it across your song. So cool way to get perfectly tuned 808 kick drums using Studio One 4's chord track feature.